Alright guys, so this is our last week in the closed guard, and today we'll be talking about basically what to do if none of the stuff we've done all semester is working. So if I couldn't, break him down by pulling him in, you go to like a marsupial or a pummel to that overhook, right? And likewise, if I couldn't, let's say I broke your posture down, if I couldn't arm drag and get here, or I couldn't make this cross collar work. So I'm facing an opponent, he has good strong posture, maybe really strong hand positioning, so it's like if I tried to sit up and get the cross collar, I just can't quite, especially if your hands are a little higher, I can't quite clear the threshold meaningfully, So we're going to switch gears and go and we're going to basically change directions, right? The way I kind of use, the metaphor I like to use is, generally speaking, in closed guard, we want to like close the clamshell. Like if you imagine that we're an open clamshell, I want to close it. In this instance, if I can't close the clamshell, then what I want to do is basically knock the clamshell over, and we're going to use the hip bump sweep to do that. Now, I think that people have some trouble with the hip bump sweep sometimes because they get confused between. Effectively, there's like two ways to do this hip bump sweep. One is going to involve me taking him towards his back corner, and the other is going to involve me taking his shoulder almost like that way. It seems counterintuitive, but it'll make sense in a second. I personally have sort of opinions about when to do which, but I'm going to go into both of them today. So, the first thing I need to do in order to effectively do this hip bump sweep is I need to clear a path for me to sit up. If I try to just sit up right now with my tailbone on the floor, let's say you keep your hands kind of strong, and I try to sit up, I'm going to stop in the middle, right? So I need to do I either need to clear his hands entirely, which might involve like any of the sort of posture break type of mechanisms we've done before. The hips come up, they come down, and circle his hands to the outside. This kind of becomes less and less of a thing that works as you get further along in jiu-jitsu, to be entirely honest with you. I'd like to tell you that happens a lot, but against good people it doesn't. More commonly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to credit card my body by getting a bit of an angle. So right now, if I sit straight up towards this armpit or this shoulder, so you push me down, I'm going right against his palms. What I want to do is plant my foot on the mat, scoot my hips out, and you see how I kind of credit card my legs, and now I'm kind of almost coming in between this hand. It's almost like this forearm gets just sort of pinned in between. I wouldn't call this like an actual pin because like if he wants to pull his arm free, it's going to come out, right? So again, I'm here, plant my foot, scoop my hips out, just enough to kind of rotate on my hip bone. It's not like a big shrimp. Think of it like the way we did that scissor sweep, right? Where we had the collar and sweep, where I just kind of rotated. Now, once I get here, what I want to do is a big sit-up. I want my armpit to clear his shoulder. The way I like to think of this is I want to give a friend behind Mike a big high five. Yeah. Right? A lot of people, they reach up and they're doing stuff like a lot of times we learn to catch the elbow here. A lot of times we learn to catch the belt here. These are all like opposite movements to what, again, remember, we have two ways that I can progress this sweep. I can go backwards in this back corner, or I can go this way. If I'm taking him to this back corner, it does not make sense for me to pull his arm in or his belt in. If I try to take him back, these are not logical directions to grab a hold of somebody, right? So I don't want to grab. I want a big high five. Yeah. Okay. Once I get to this point, I'm going to launch my hips basically onto his lap. And the way that I know that I'm going to be in the right position is my knee that's resting on his thigh right now is going to touch down to the floor. So as I press up, my knee touches down. You can see like right now already he starts kind of going back. I haven't even really launched as a sweep. So go back. So I get here, high five, yeah. I get to this point, right? His hand is going to post. But that's always going to happen. Now, from here, I might collect his post. A lot of times that post is weak enough that you just bump through it, but for the the sake of our training partner's elbows, we're going to not do that. I'll catch it, and then what I want to do is I want to take this knee and I want to bump him right into the armpit. And that's going to be what kind of completes the thing. So kind of all together. Here, he's got good hand positioning, so I'm trying to sit up and he's not letting me, right? Boom. And bump. Does that make sense, guys? So I'm launching myself kind of into his lap, and then I'm kneeing him into the arm, and that's what's taking him to that back arm. Now, I'll toggle that with the alternative just for now. The other way that I can go about this, and it requires a little bit less oomph, but I would say it has lower threshold of, like lower percentage basically. Same thing, scooting, but this time I'm coming up and I'm going to kind of freeze at this point. And then what I want to do is I want to turn everything the opposite direction. So I'm going to look, if I'm on essentially his right shoulder, so basically I'm on my left side, I'm going to look to my left side, so I'll capture his elbow, and then I'm going to literally just look that way. So it's almost like a rotation rather than a bump. So, again, the big thing I want to point out is like, don't confuse the two for each other. There's one way where I'm going to bump him back, and one way where I'm going to take him over. I'll go into some of the transitions out of that in a minute, but for now, I'll show those. Can I grab you, Joe? Okay, Mike. Disregard. So again, one more time, let's say you just got your palms on my stomach, so like I'm trying to sit up, right, you're just pushing me down. So the first thing I'm doing, foot plants, I just scoop my hips out, so now when I do my sit-up, I'm coming at this angle here. I want my armpit to go over his shoulder, so the way that I want to think about doing that is, again, I'm going to give someone a big high five. Hi-ya! Now, once I get here, I'm throwing myself onto his lap, and I kind of make my knee touch down. So let's say you post, right? He's going to have to post. If you do this to somebody, they have to post. From here, catch the wrist. Hello. Hello. Right there. Catch the wrist, bump the knee into the armpit. That's going to complete my sweep. So that's one. Two. Pretty much the same. Like I'll do the other side this time. So this time, bring his hands to the floor, scoot out. I sit up here. But this time, instead of thinking about launching him backwards, I'm catching the arm, and I'm going to turn everything to face the other direction. Like, look the other direction, etc. That make sense, guys? Yeah? Any questions or anything? Excellent. This part on worked out. 1, 2, 3. And, only a few squats are going to maybe. Actually, why don't we get John and Mike together, and then Jamie, you circle with these guys. Side dynamics.
I'm the alternate as long as Wayne.
Oh, cool.